All right, we're live, Marco. Ciao, buongiorno. You are not
So,
in your normal place. Where are you today?
I'm in Iceland,
Very
but
nice.
there were very important things to talk about. So I found room to discuss about the
Yeah.
news.
How is the espresso in Iceland?
Well, I must say, not bad, not bad. They're good coffee makers. Sometimes you can get very very good coffee also
Yeah.
here.
Well, I'm in the States right now, so we have American coffee, and I can't bring myself to spend €4 for an espresso after spending a euro. So,
Well, as an Italian, I can tell you that I do love American coffee too. So it's a different thing, but still.
so we're here today because the Constitutional Court put out a huge ruling. Do you want to give a little background on the case, and maybe even go into where is this going to impact and who is this important to?
Yeah, Dominic, I think it's very important because in these days, especially, I mean, after yesterday, a lot of people is asking themselves if the new ruling is affecting the new decree law, the Tajani decree law, or not. If that is directly, impacting on the applications that were submitted or not. So let's make things clear in order to, understand properly what's going on. The First of all, Constitutional Court yesterday, 31st of July, issued a ruling number 142, which is basically stating, is ruling, of course, on the question that was raised by the Court of Turin back in September 2024. The question basically was, is it proper to have in the Italian legal framework a system which is not granting, but is setting the Italian citizenship by descent without any generational limit? So is that proper for a system like the Italian system, which is strictly bound with values like culture,
Hmm.
history, language, and so on? So
So
that was
this is
that
part
was
of
the
the
question.
genuine connection to Italy you're talking about that was a
it,
part of it,
it, it,
correct?
it was the so-called genuine link. It was put in the memo sent by the
Mm.
by the Turing court to the constitutional court. So that was something that was implied in this judgment. And the constitutional court, which was also called upon the new decree law earlier, end of June 24th, if I'm not wrong, on the new decree law, issued a ruling which is strictly related to the first challenge, by the Court of Turin, but at the same time is giving us some hints about what could be the outcome of the other, the parallel,
Mm.
judgment, the parallel case
Mm.
which was raised on with the hearing on the 24th of June regarding uh, the new uh, the new decree law. Sorry, not with the hearing of the 24th of June, but with the
Refer.
with the it was in June, mid June, but the reference was with the new decree law. So it is giving us also some some hints about what could be the outcome of that second and most important procedure.
So this ruling has nothing to do with the new law. We'll have to wait on that. It's giving us some hints on what the court may do. Um, who does this ruling benefit right now? Who should look at this and say this helps me?
Sorry, can you ask again? I
Sure.
had a
Yep.
little interruption in the audio.
So who does this ruling help? People out there are saying, "Does this help me?" Does this ruling help anybody that is going through great grandparents that hasn't applied? Does this help anybody with the minor issue? I know the answers to both of those are no,
Yeah,
but who
yeah.
does this help?
So basically, in this moment, the judgment is not directly impacting applications. because what the Constitutional Court said, it is, uh, we can say that the Italian parliament, the Italian, bodies, they do have the power, of course, the tools to, how to say, to rule on this, on this
To
law,
legislate. To
on this
legislate on
domain, yeah, on this topic. And so basically the ruling was of inadmissibility of this question raised by the constitution, by the local court of Turin. So they said, we cannot, judge, we cannot rule on this, or better, we rule by saying that the state has the tools to impact directly on this topic. We don't have to. So, as Constitutional Court, they said it's inadmissible because it is not necessary a direct impact by the Constitutional Court on this topic. And this was pertaining, of course, the question raised by the Court of Turin, which is not directly connected to the new decree law. This is just to remember. The reason why people nowadays cannot anymore apply via a great grandfather lineage, it is because there is the new decree law, which is cutting the generational limit to second generations. So, since the Constitutional Court has not issued a ruling on the new decree law, this ruling is not in this moment impacting directly on the applications, but it's giving us some hints, as I told you before. So nobody in this moment is directly, affected by the new ruling, but the new, indications, the indicators that we got from this judgment from the Constitutional Court could lead us to maybe some positive news in the near future.
So it isn't helping anybody now, but the court has given us clues as to what they think. So they've said that we have no problem, and correct me if I'm wrong, with no limits to the generations, which is a big sticking point. And I believe they also mentioned in there that citizenship is acquired at birth, Italian citizenship. So these two things together could give us some clues potentially to how they feel in the future, or am I looking for more hope than this is actually giving us?
It is basically, what is important to say is that the Constitutional Court is stating Italian citizenship, it's something that is acquired since birth. And I believe I have to do research also, because I want to have a look more into depth on the new ruling by the Constitutional Court, since it was issued yesterday, and I'm not in the condition, of course, to have a very in-depth sight on this. But from what I've read, and also from what also my colleagues has expressed in the last hours, is that Constitutional Court is aligning with the jurisprudence of the Supreme Court of Cassation, which was issued in the last decades, which is saying citizenship is something that is acquired since birth. It is something that can be subject to modifications, to amendments by the institutions of our state, but at the same time, these amendments, these modifications must be within the frame of reasonable and proportionate, proposals, proportionate law proposals, proportionate, interventions by the state. And this is very important because it could lead us. I don't want to give certainty about this. It's just interpretation mine, but it's shared with my colleagues. It is saying that with this, that probably they are already taking into account a possible inconstitutionality, the possible inconstitutionality of the decree Tajani. So this is something important because, yes, it is stating that the judgment is inadmissible, but at the same time, it's giving us some hints on the future.
So, tell me if I'm getting this right. So since you, or sorry, not you, but you are born in Italy, but people watching this, etc., that are hoping to become Italian citizens by descent, who are alive on March 27th, whenever the decree came out, does this ruling open the door to remove the retroactivity, since we have already acquired, according to Italian law, before the 27th, acquired Italian citizenship at birth? Or is that
It is not is
affecting
not yet like, since I is not affecting the new decree law. I would say that in this moment we cannot say that is um, changing things for the applicants, but it's saying that the citizenship, of course, is acquired since birth,
Mm,
and it is giving us probably, an anticipation that the opinion of the Constitutional Court on the new decree law, since it is affecting retroactively the
mm,
citizenship right, probably the opinion of the Constitutional Court will be negative on that. Then we
mm,
will see if that will be confirmed, in which extent
mm,
that will be confirmed. But in this moment, this is, what we have to be, sure about.
mm,
That we had an admissibility judgment from the Constitutional Court. It is not yet the Constitutional Court affecting the applications that were dropped, that were filed
mm,
either before or after the 28th of March, but probably we'll have some developments with the new judgment, with the new
mm.
procedure in the next year. Scheduled the hearing for the decree, for the Tajani decree, constitutional judgment on February 2026. So that's a news
Oh,
also.
this has been scheduled, has it?
Has been scheduled, yes.
Oh, okay. So,
As far as I'm concerned, yes. Then of course I'll give you more confirmation, but as far as I'm concerned, yes.
we've got 6 months before the new law ends up before the Constitutional Court, and then another several months after that before we get a decision.
Yeah, the same time frame we had in this case. Hearing scheduled on the 24th of June for this, procedure, and then after a month and a week, we got the judgment. Probably affected also the thing that now the court is going on holidays, as most of the Italians, August is the holidays month, and this of course probably has accelerated things. I was expecting actually the judgment to be issued in September, but this didn't happened earlier than that. I don't know if it will be the same also in February, that things will be as quick as in this occasion, but definitely we'll have a look into this.
Does the very quick response from the court indicate anything like the degree of importance, or does it just mean they wanted to get on vacation and get this off the plate?
Sorry, can you say it again? Sorry, it's a bit noisy here.
Yeah, is the quick reply from the court, the quick verdict from the court, any sort of positive indicator that this is a very important issue, or is it just that they were ready to go on vacation and wanted to clear this from the plate? Or
Of course, we are talking about a very important body, Constitutional Court. I don't think that they just accelerated because of the holidays period coming on, but because they had clear in mind what to state with this judgment. It is just a procedural things that could have been connected with the holidays frame, in August. So I wouldn't, I'm certain on this. So I would tell you, yes, maybe they had clear in mind what to state, and that could be positive in the perspective of the new judgment. But I believe that we must be balanced in this moment, also in the opinions. I feel that there is positivity, there's optimism on this, and I do agree. I would agree on a moderate optimism for the future, and I would be more focused on the contents of the judgment rather than the timing that it had. The contents are good, I believe, are quite good for us, and this is something that it must be taken into account in
Mm.
the view for February 2026. Then everything that is collateral
Mm.
is better maybe to not consider it. Let's be stuck to the
Mm.
contents and let's
Don't
see what
don't
happens.
don't read the tea leaves too much. Don't try to dig too far into it to predict the future, is what I'm hearing.
You are the native speaker, so
Mm. Well, cool. I think we've covered the topic pretty well. Is there anything else people should know before you go about the rest of your day there in beautiful Iceland?
well, I think that we talk about the most juicy, things. Of course, there are many nuances of this judgment that could be analyzed.
Mm.
But in this moment, I believe that it is maybe better to study, to analyze more into depth this judgment, maybe touch base
Mm.
later on. But from a first glance, the indicators are good. It is good that it was also quoted jurisprudence from the European Court of Justice, um, and that the contents were aligning with the Supreme Court of Cassation about
Mm.
the on how is important the citizenship right in our legal framework, and also the proportionate and reasonable
Mm.
topic that is also very very important to take into account. For now, I would say that's it, but of course let's schedule next calls to maybe get more into details on the nuances of this judgment
Mm.
in the forthcoming weeks.
Fantastic. So let's plan to do that in the next couple of weeks to dive deep into this. And if anybody has any questions, excuse me, if anybody has any questions, we'll answer them in the next stream then. So hope to hear from anybody. Marco, thank you for your time and your legal perspective. I am not an attorney in Italy, as you are, of course. Yeah, and have yourself a beautiful day.
Thank you, Dominic. I hope that this live stream was, also clarifying some aspects for our viewers,
Mm.
followers. Of course, if they want to leave a comment in the
Yep.
box, like they can do it. We will try to answer as far as we can. In this moment, we are in a very dynamic moment in terms of
Mm.
citizenship right. The developments are very fast,
Mm.
so something that could be said today, tomorrow could be not
Totally.
valid anymore. So we'll try to get on top of the comments and all the
Yep.
questions at our best.
Mm.
And we'll touch base soon, of course, in the next weeks, as I said, to get more into depth about this new judgment.
Fantastic. Well, get out there, enjoy Iceland, and anybody who has questions, drop them in any of the comment boxes, and we will get back to you. So, Marco, have a beautiful day. Ciao. Ciao a tutti. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dominic. See you soon.